Hey, what's up everybody? It is Kellen here from Start Your Systems, and welcome to another MX vs ATV Supercross Encore official track gameplay video, where today, 2017 Detroit is on the docket. This is round 12 of the Monster Energy Supercross Championship. I'm going to go with Pro today because last time I did one of these videos, the lapped riders were highly annoying. And gonna do 12 laps because I think the track's a little bit longer. I haven't actually ran a lap on it yet because I only did it in free mode. But we're gonna do a couple laps on this track. You guys are gonna see what it's like, and then I'm gonna break down into my usual spiel about my thoughts on Supercross and where everything is at right now with the championships. But as for this track, interesting idea for a start. I don't think I've trying to remember if they've ever done this before, where the first corner was actually the thing that went into the stands like this. I feel like it could be dangerous, could also just work fine, I'll never know. But Detroit, most of the time has done this whole going into the stands thing. Now they're at Ford Field, which is where the Lions play, and where the Lions used to play was the Metrodome in Pontiac, Michigan. And they no longer go there, but even back in the days of the Metrodome, they would go up into the stands. But back then, the Metrodome actually had like some really nice corner edges to it, which I think Ford Field kind of does too. But you could go up into the corner of the stands very easily because of the way that the stadium was kind of a hexagonal shape. Now they just go straight up and down into the stands in Ford Field. I don't know if that's like a specific thing that like Michigan wants to do every year or what have you, but at least it's cool to see something different and unique like that whole deal going up into the stands. Actually, you know what? I don't even have my HUD on. Be able to see what lap times I'm running, obviously, would be nice. But I like it. I think it could, like I said, be a bad thing, just because you may have people going so fast into turn one that they end up in the stands. Obviously, they're not going to put any sort of people behind that turn. They'll probably black out that entire area with tarp or something like that, but it still just looks like it would be a less than ideal thing to do, especially when, you know, the whole track crew is so like anal about not putting giant 180 bowl corners in a section where a bike might go flying into the stands, and yet they're more than open to the idea of putting a giant first corner complex that is in the stands. So just find it a little interesting that they want to do that. But we'll see how it works out. I think it could be cool. But as for the rest of the track, I like that there's a 180-degree sand corner that's a sweeper. I think that could make multiple options. I have no idea what they're going to do in this section. In Sim, I feel like we're going to go over triple-double, but they may go on-off 3-1. I really don't know. I was trying to go quad-quad there, and some rollers, finish line jump. I do like what they did coming out of the first corner up here, where it drops down and then there's a rhythm section with a plateau jump with another plateau jump on top of it, so like two tables on top of each other. So in this you tend to triple to the base of the plateau and then quad into the corner essentially. Out of this is a whip section, and then another unique section that we haven't really seen this year yet, which is a dragon's back to an opposite facing side dragon's back, but you jump into it off of this single. So I'm not too sure what kind of line is going to work out there. And then I also don't think that there's going to be this kind of big of a wall jump in real life, but I could be wrong. I mean, this thing sends you to the freaking moon if you so choose to. But I guess we'll have to see. Otherwise, I think the track is pretty interesting. It's honestly kind of another fairly standard-looking football stadium layout, except for that first corner going into the stands. We'll see. As for the riders that would be racing this track, 450 Championship getting interesting. I've had a lot of people comment on these videos that, you know, I keep saying that I still think Ryan Dungey's going to win this championship, and a lot of people are coming at me with, oh, you don't know Tomac, bro. But I kind of do, and I kind of know that, you know, Tomac has gone 6 for 8 in the races that he's needed to win, essentially, to get him back in this championship. So he hasn't even been perfect up to this point. In regards to tearing away Dungey's points lead. And sometimes when you're in this kind of a situation where you need to make up chunks of points, things go bad quickly and, you know, big too. So I'm not saying that Tomac can't come back and win this championship, And even if he does, I think we should all be excited for it. I'm definitely excited that Tomac's making it interesting, because it's pretty rare that we even see a championship go to the line. I mean, I haven't done the research on it, I should have, but I'm pretty positive that at least in the last like 15 years, only 3 championships have gone to the line. I'm trying to rack my brain a little bit, but I know Ricky and Chad had one go to the line, and that was 2003. Then James, Ricky, and Chad all had a title fight go to the line, and that was in 2006. Obviously, the classic 2009 showdown between Chad and James, and then in 2011 the title went to the wire. But other than that's it. No other championship has gone to the wire in the last 15, 17 years, whatever you want to call it, since those ones. And so it's pretty rare that we see a title go down to the end that isn't wrapped up early. I think that it's very possible that this is one of those scenarios that the title goes to the end. I still just believe it's going to be Ryan Dungey to come out on top. I know his comments of it's just a dirt bike race, and his lack of being able to finish in front of Musquin after running with Tomac for much of the race could look like a danger zone, but Dungey has adamantly stated that when the track has gotten really rough, he goes into classic Dunge mode and rides safe. That, I think, might bite Tomac at some point. And I don't want it to, because I like Eli, I like Ryan, I like Marvin. You know what? In my honest opinion, you guys keep saying I hate that, you know, Tomac is going to come back and win this championship. Like, some people have commented and said that I'm a Dungey nut hugger and that I think, you know, he's going to win the championship and that's all I care about. I absolutely don't believe that at all. I think it'd be awesome to see a title fight that goes to the end and makes it interesting, because that'll help grow the sport. But if you want my honest opinion, I wish Kenny was still here, because I would like to see him win the championship. I think it'd be super awesome to see Roczen, you know, come from Germany, win the MX2 world title, and win pretty much everything here. Outdoor title, a 250 Supercross championship. If he won a 450 Supercross championship, then really the only thing he would not have done in his career by that point is win a 250 outdoor title and win the MXGP World Championship, which is pretty rare air. There's not a lot of people that are world champions and also 450 Supercross champions. In fact, I don't know if there's anybody out there that's ever had that, except maybe Jean-Michel Bale, but I'm not too sure if he was ever a 250 or 500cc class world champion. I'd have to rack my brain for that one. So that's pretty unique. So that's my honest opinion about that. I still think Dungey has this championship, just given his track record versus Tomac. That's my honest opinion. And let's watch the races and find out what actually happens, because that's all speculation until the racing goes down, you know. But we'll see. Could still be very, very interesting. I think, honestly, everybody keeps saying like, oh, Tomac's on a roll. Tomac is miles ahead of everybody else. I think that one of these races, Musquin's going to hole shot just like he did in Dallas, and nobody's going to catch him. Even Tomac, if he starts second. Musquin looks like he's coming back around, and when he knows he can run the front pace, he's pretty dangerous. So that might, you know, also hurt Tomac, is, you know, getting Musquin up there to take some points away that he could be gaining. But we'll see. As for the 250 class, what can you say more about Zach Osborne? You know, he's trying to make this title fight kind of boring, honestly. Savacci's still kind of close, 9 points back, but after that whole kerfuffle where Adam Cianciarulo and Zach Osborne hit each other in practice, what happened was basically, I guess they made contact going into the first corner at the beginning of practice. Cianciarulo slammed Osborne a couple corners after that, and Osborne came back in and slammed him. And I guess Cianciarulo's leg was out, so it got caught kind of in between the two of them, and it hurt AC's knee a little bit. Sounds like he's going to try to ride out the series, even though, I mean, he did all right in Indy. I think he got 5th behind Amart. So he was able to salvage, but I think he's still going to be injured, and that might spell the unfortunate end to his title hopes. But we'll see. You know, anything could happen with Osborne or Savacci, but I think it's really down to those two at this point. And it's so weird watching Savacci ride lately, because when he was battling with Webb, although Webb usually was the faster one, Savacci was really close to his speed. Whereas I honestly feel like right now Savatgy isn't really that close to Osborne's speed, which is crazy to me because Osborne has never been like a speed demon in Supercross or anything like that. He's been great. Never has he just been like the Cooper Webb level speed in Supercross. So I'm struggling to figure out where kind of Savatgy's speed is at that he had last year. I mean, I think that Savatgy is definitely a favorite going into outdoors again this year, having had the red plate for half the year last year. And he certainly is a very, very quick and talented rider. But right now, Osborne has just got his number, man. He stalked him for 7-8 odd laps and then just put an aggressive pass on him. And I thought then that, like, oh, that's going to light a fire under Savatgy. He's going to come back after him, and it's on now. But no, I mean, Savatgy stayed kind of close, then started losing some time. Osborne got a gap, got comfortable, and it was over. So I struggle finding a way to see that Osborne is going to lose this title. I think that it would take maybe some crashing out of him or really just Savatgy to go on a roll. I mean, if Savatgy wins the next 3 straight and Osborne finishes second, they're tied in the championship, but it's kind of tough to see that happening right now with the way that Osborne's riding. And, you know, I'm not trying to discredit Zach at all in saying that I don't know where Savatgy's speed went, but you know, I think Osborne's riding great. I think that he has worked his tail off to get where he is, and I definitely think he's a very talented rider and, you know, deserving of being the, you know, the fastest rider in that class right now. But I guess I just expected more out of Savatgy. I mean, we all expected a ton out of Craig, and he kind of flopped. I wonder if maybe the expectations that were put on Savatgy are starting to be kind of a distraction for him or what. I don't know. But I guess, you know, I don't necessarily think this title is out of reach for Savatgy yet. I think that Osborne is making a case that he's going to be very, very difficult to go through to get the title. But you know, it's not over till we get to Vegas, or at least until, you know, Osborne wraps up the title early. I mean, we still have Detroit this weekend. Then they go to St. Louis, I believe, the weekend after. There's one more race I'm trying to think of. They go to St. Louis and East Rutherford, which I think it's in that order. I think it goes Detroit. No, sorry, it goes Detroit, St. Louis, and then I think Salt Lake City and Seattle, and then East Rutherford, and then the final round. Pretty sure that's how it goes. It's one of those, but there's basically 2 West Coast races left to do and 3 East Coast races left to do before they get to the East-West Shootout, which again is going to be combined with both series, and points will be on the line, so that'll make it interesting. And I guess we'll just have to see what happens when we get there. My personal opinion, I think Osborne's going to win this title, which cool beans for him. I mean, after a long career to finally, you know, be winning and in a position to win a championship, that's awesome. He was always kind of the 3rd or 4th best guy when he raced GPs. There's a couple times that he would shine through and be the fastest, but he was never like just the speed demon of the GP class. Obviously, he had to deal with Muscan and Roxon and Hurlings at one point too. And I think for a little while he even dealt with like Porcel and Cairoli. So he's been there, he's seen what it's like, but you know, finally to break through and start winning a championship, that's awesome. But that's my thoughts and opinions. You guys are welcome to have yours, and I'd love to read them in the comment section below. If you guys like this video, please go ahead, like it, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But this has been another real-life Supercross track gameplay and MX vs. ATV Supercross Encore here on Start Your Systems, and we'll see you guys in the next one.